welcome back to my channel. This is my friend Ariel Bissett, and she is on YouTube as well.
It's true. I can't deny it.
We met at Buffer Festival 2016 and Buffer Festival 2017.
18.
That was last year. 2018 is happening this upcoming week, and so we're gonna see each other again. But she came to visit me before then, and we've just been hanging out. We've been making a little mini documentary for your channel.
Yes.
If you don't know, Ariel makes booktube videos, but also she's trying to transition into more of like a documentary kind of vibe.
Hey, thanks, man.
I'm here for
It's
it.
true. It's what I'm doing. It's what my heart wants.
So if you're interested in either of those topics, documentaries, books, all the things, then definitely go and check her out and subscribe because she's the nicest person ever, honestly.
Gosh.
So we're gonna do a nice little pizza talk today. I actually made this pizza.
Yeah. I've been staring at it for so long.
Yeah.
Just wanting to eat it.
Yeah.
It smells so good.
You can honestly dive right in. I'm just gonna find a quick question to start off with.
I also wanted to tell everyone that the sage and thyme that is on this pizza, Meghan grew herself.
I did.
Went
as
out
well
and
as
cut
the tomatoes and the onions.
So true. Wow. That's
It's
quality.
gonna be a good slice. I'm so excited because we kind of live in bumfuck, so we don't have a pizza delivery service. So making it is like even better and just more sustainable. Why not? Don't need to get that packaging. Okay.
It's so good.
Woohoo! I asked you guys to send us questions or things you need advice on with the hashtag Pizza Talk on Twitter, and then I also asked for questions on Instagram. Both of those @s you can send stuff to in the future are at Meghan Hughes.
There's no pretty way to eat pizza.
Oh no, there isn't. That is one thing that you will rapidly learn on Pizza Talk is like,
yeah,
there's a mix between talking and eating, and it's never pretty. And so it's like a advice mukbang, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A word I only learned like 2 months ago. I'm so out of touch.
It's okay. Yeah. Aren't we all? Okay,
I think maybe not. I think it's just me.
This is a good one to start off with because it applies to both of us.
Okay.
So my friend asked us, I don't like to wear bras, but my mom, in parentheses, I live at home, gets very mad at me if I don't wear one, even just at the house.
Wow.
She tells me it's inappropriate and makes people uncomfortable. Am I being unreasonable that I don't think I should have to wear one in my own home? No, I don't think you're being unreasonable at all.
I'm on the side of her.
Me too. I'm on your side.
At least you got a team. You got a teammate over here. 2 teammates on your side. Now here's the sitch, you know. Your parents, I truly believe that most parents want you to do well and like are rooting for you. And so when she says that, she doesn't mean it as an insult. She's not like, you're ridiculous. I think what she's kind of trying to say is like, in my vision of the world, women are more respectable when they wear bras. So she's trying to help you. But yeah, you're not wrong, right? I'm not wearing a bra. I don't like bras.
I'm not wearing a bra.
They're uncomfortable. There's a time and a place, you know, certain shirts maybe call for them. Sporting moments call for them. You are not in the wrong here. Bras are a choice. They're not forced upon anyone. You don't have to wear them. Unfortunately, obviously, some places have dress codes, blah, blah, blah. But in your own home, I think you're in the right here. And I think this is one of those situations where you've just got to stay strong. Eventually, she'll stop complaining.
Yes. Also, either that or you'll just move out.
Yeah.
And then you have the freedom to be braless in your own home. Hell, maybe even topless, you know? Whatever you want to do. Whatever floats your boat. Larry, you can't come in here, buddy. You're gonna have to hang out with Dad. Anyways, I would say that, yeah, your mom wants the best for you. She maybe just thinks that you look unpresentable that way. We don't agree.
No, we don't agree, which I think that's like a traditional perspective that she has. And that I just don't think, I think that we've come farther than that.
Yeah. My friend asked us about working jobs you don't like, finding jobs you do like, and what to do in between. So money, you know, that's a problem. I'm sorry, my left eye is watering profusely right now. So if you see me like twitching or like trying to keep my shit together, you know why.
I have worked many a job I've hated.
Yeah.
Many a job. And listen, it's not ideal. It's not good.
No.
Unfortunately, we live, and not to sound like the hippie that we are, we live in a capitalist society in which money is necessary to eat, have shelter, warmth,
Do fun things.
and just have to have fun. A lot of the time you need money.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like money to get you to a forest, which is free, but you need to get to the forest. You don't have 6 hours to walk.
Exactly. Gotta pay for gas, all the things.
So you need money. And sometimes you gotta do crap jobs in order to do it. So like I was mentioning to you earlier,
Yeah.
I've worked at Staples, I've worked at Michael's, I've done retail jobs that I didn't like. And also in my now, like, that I've transitioned into, thankfully, working in the field that I like, which is the creative industries, I still have to take on a lot of jobs that I don't want to do. Like, I edit stuff on the side, and I don't dislike doing it, but it's like, oh, I wish I could spend those hours making art or something, but you can't. So I think the first thing to recognize is that, like, I think a lot of people only share the best parts of their jobs or the good jobs that they do, but everybody does jobs they don't like.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you're the only one who's stuck in that life. No.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the only other job I've had, other than the blessing that is YouTube, I was a lifeguard when I was 15.
Blessing and a curse.
True. Yeah, I was a lifeguard, and then once I started making enough money from this, I quit lifeguarding. I just ended up leaving that once I found something better. So just stay in that until you find something better.
You grow. It goes up. It's a ladder.
Exactly. And then when you quit out of spite or something, or because you're just like, oh, I fucking hate this, then you're like, wow, I'm really out of work now. And what if you don't find something like that? I'm so sorry that I just burped while I was saying that. But yeah, I mean, there's just little things in my life now. Like, I don't like to shovel the pig's poo into a pile and pour it somewhere else. That's no fun, but I do it because, you know, who else is going to, I guess. So my summary...
Not Larry.
I'd say my summary in this is just to kind of ride it out until you work your way up the ladder.
And the thing is, I think that no matter who you ask, except for that 1% or whatever, the majority of people will say that the beginning of their career was really rocky, and eventually you get to, like, be in the career that you more want, and that in those first few years you just got to do the thing that you want to do on the side as much as you can.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got to go to sleep late because you need to, like, work at night on your novel or whatever.
But like
you just got to keep it on the side.
But you got to keep eating during the day. We get it.
I missed my mouth.
It's okay. This is a funny question to me, but you're the person to ask. My friend asked us how to read more books, and then she said, I love you both. We love you too.
Love you too. I don't know who you are, but I imagine happiness.
So advice on how to read more books.
Yeah.
It all comes down to motivation. You know, this year on Goodreads, which is a great app, great website, they have the ability for you to, like, start a reading challenge for yourself. And then you can track it on there and, like, put your page number in and, like, see. I'm between 6 books on Goodreads right now.
Yeah.
But I have completed 15.
Look at you.
And that was never me, honey. No. I never read. I mean, Ariel growing up, she was just like, I would always just be reading. I would be reading at my house every Friday, every weekend. It's all she did. So then she started a YouTube channel, started talking about books, all these things. And here we are giving you advice on how to start reading. I would say it really just all dwindles down to your own motivation. Like, if you want to do that, go out and do it, girl.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams. Get a good book that you're like, damn, I think this sounds intriguing as hell. Or this is a good tip. Start off with poetry. Because poetry is very easy to read and doesn't require you to really, like, always be really attentive to the pages. You know what I mean? That's not what I was trying to say.
Well, I think what you mean is just, like, you can read one poem, take that in, and then you're done.
Yeah, and then wake up the next day and be like, I didn't have to remember what the last poem was.
No,
I'm just gonna, like, start off. That's what I'm trying to say. So instead of, like, a big ass novel that you're like, this is so overwhelming, I lost my spot, I don't know, you know.
I would give 3 tips. Yes. Tip number 1, read something that genuinely makes you happy. Don't read something that someone else told you to read or something you feel you're supposed to read. You're like, everyone else is talking about The Great Gatsby. I guess I should read that too. Do, because The Great Gatsby is fantastic. It's so effing good. But besides the point, read something that genuinely interests you. And if you're reading something and you're slogging through it and you're like, oh my God, this is so boring, put it down and start something else.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely just make sure that when you're reading, it's an enjoyable time for you, because that's the only way you're gonna wanna keep doing it.
Yeah.
Second tip is try and pick a time in your day when you can read every single day. So that might be right when you wake up for just half an hour read, or what I do right before bed. It's the best because you have nothing else to do really other than scroll mindlessly on your phone, and no one needs to do more of that, right? Especially right before bed.
Yeah.
That blue light, it'll keep you up. But like, yeah, that's a perfect time to read right before bed. Or maybe like you work at a job and you always have a lunch period where you can have like 15 minutes to read. Just choose a time every day and that will get you into the habit of it. And that's my third tip. Reading is a habit. Wanting to read is not just something that some people are born with and some people aren't. I have like many times throughout my reading life, fallen out of the rhythm of reading. And then I'm like, damn it, I never read anymore. And it's just because it's a habit.
Yeah.
You just have to like train yourself to read quite often. And then some moments you'll be like, I feel like reading right now.
Yeah.
It's because your mind is like accustomed to that as an activity that you do.
And
thank you.
a couple perks of reading, wonderful tips, by the way. A couple perks of reading expands your vocabulary. You're smarter and more intelligent in conversation with people.
Yep.
I read a fantasy novel that was for young teens. That was like the category it was for, but I learned like 30 new words from that book. Also,
it also makes you a more compassionate person. Studies have been done that people that read are more compassionate. I think it's because you are more used to placing yourself in a different character's eyes.
Yeah.
And so when you're like interacting with people in real life, you can kind of relate to them better and see their struggle also.
Yeah. This I thought of randomly, but like leave books randomly around your house.
Yeah.
And then maybe you'll see one and be like, oh, that I could pick that up. Especially have books on your bedside table. Because
I agree.
I don't trust anybody who doesn't have books on their bedside table. I mean, I'm saying. So my friend asked us what to do if you feel like you're losing touch with someone because of distance that you considered close to you. What if it's just because of overthinking? Well, the last part, like maybe it could be because of overthinking, but it's probably not because you're asking us, you know? Like if you feel that way, you probably are feeling a little distanced. I feel this way all the time with my best friends because a lot of them don't live around me. And so it's hard to keep in contact with people who are in school or have jobs and have schedules, you know? We're not always on the same schedule. But I would say if you really feel out of touch with said individual, let them know. And be like,
I agree with that.
I just feel like we're drifting, you know? Let's have a FaceTime date and like prioritize that shit.
Schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Schedule it in.
I feel like I actually answered this in my last pizza talk with Ashlyn. Just like maintaining friendships because we both kind of moved away from certain areas where like we had a large concentration of friends.
Yeah.
Like I have friends in Georgia, I have friends in LA, and I have friends in Canada. And it's hard to keep in contact with all of them, you know? And I'm not great about that, I will admit. So yeah, those are my biggest things. It's like tell them, hey, I love you, man, and I want to keep this up because drifting away from you would break my damn heart. Also, you could always plan a trip with them. I mean,
that's a nice idea.
If the money is there to budget for that, be like, let's just go to Joshua Tree and just camp in the desert for a little bit or
Sounds
something,
great to me.
You know? Like just to have a little meetup with her or him. I don't know. He, she, he, who, huh? I don't know.
Yeah, whoever the hell they are. I completely agree with everything you said. The only thing that I wanted to add, an addendum of sorts, it's a little defeatist, but I mean it in a positive way. It is very much also okay to recognize that friendships that are distant are not going to be the same that they were, and that doesn't mean that that other person doesn't love you as much as they did.
Wow, yeah. Yep.
Because like my best friend, God bless her, Jacqueline. I love her so much. She moved to effing Germany to be with her boyfriend, which good for them. They're very happy. But
damn it, Jacqueline.
We don't talk that much anymore, and it's really sad. But every like month or every few months or whatever, I'll message her and I'll be like, Jacqueline, I miss you. What the heck's going on with you? And she'll be like, I miss you so much too. Here, and when we have like a big conversation and we lay it all out on the line, and then maybe another month or two goes by and I haven't talked to her. So sometimes just because you're distant, it doesn't mean that
everything's over.
That it's over, or that even any of the love has diminished. It's just a different type of relationship now, and it won't be the same.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's me and all my friends in Georgia, especially my friend Gina, especially my friend Nevin. We'll just be MIA for weeks, and then I'll text her and be like, what the hell's up? And she'll just let me know. 2 of my friends asked us about long distance relationships.
Christ.
Never been in an LDR myself. So I'm gonna hand it over to Ariel over here because her lover is in London.
Yeah.
Greg.
Just gonna put the pizza behind me for a minute.
Dust off the hands. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. I accidentally got into a long distance relationship, as I think most long distance relationships, you don't join them and you're like, this is gonna be long distance, let's do it. Like, I'm so excited for our long distance relationship.
Yeah, like something takes a turn.
I can't imagine anyone saying that. Like, whoa, can't wait. So I was studying abroad and I met my boyfriend in England, and he lives in England and I live in Canada. And we have an ocean between us, and we have a 5-hour time difference, so it's like a really legitimate long distance relationship. Whereas like some people are like, I'm in a long distance relationship with my partner, they're 2 hours away. I'm like, no.
You don't understand.
No, I'm really bad at it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be so honest. I am bad at it. I am constantly complaining to Greg, my boyfriend, obviously. I'm like, Greg, I hate this, and he's like, but do you love me? I'm like, well, yeah, I love you, but this sucks. And he's like, but that makes me feel like you don't like me. I'm like, I obviously love you because I'm going through this torture. It's painful. But like, I think that's really important to acknowledge. Yeah. Like, don't try and pretend that you're not in pain, that you don't miss the person, that it doesn't suck. Like, there's so many things I want to do with my boyfriend that I can't. And then I have to be like, okay, I'll do this with my friend or my brother or something. And that's not like a downgrade, but it's just like certain things you want to do with your partner.
Yeah,
that's like
I want
what
you to be
have a
there.
partner
I love
with.
you.
Yeah. But my biggest tip for long distance, the thing that has helped me the absolute most, is setting deadlines. And I don't mean like a deadline of when is the long distance going to end, because especially for the first bit, that's kind of hard to tell. Like, you don't know.
Who knows?
But being like, okay, listen, right now it's September. We're gonna meet up again, and you could make like however long it is, but like we're gonna meet up again November 3rd. Yeah. Write that down. I have an app on my phone. It's like a little widget, so I can always look at it, and it gives me just a countdown. It's like 22 days left, 10 days left, 5 days left.
It's like something to look forward to.
And it's just something to look forward to, and that gives me direction. Instead of feeling like I'm lost in a sea of this never ends, it's like, no, I'm going towards something. Like, that really helps me. Yeah. That's my main tip, though.
I think my sister and I actually covered this question when her and her boyfriend Sean were long distance. When he lived in Idaho, she lived in Georgia, and when she lived in LA, they were just in separate places. And her biggest thing was to like have like just something to look forward to that you both could do, and just like be able to appreciate the little things, like them, you know, calling you or FaceTiming you, and just cherishing those little moments, because you don't have like the bigger face-to-face stuff throughout every day.
The other thing I was gonna add, I just realized, is that Greg and I play a lot of chess on a chess app. You don't have to go and play chess if you don't want to, but like getting like an app or something that you can just kind of kill time with together is really nice. Because one of the things that sucks about it is that you don't just get to like waste time with your best friend. Yeah. It's like they're not around to just like lay around with. But we'll be like, hey, want to play chess? And
or like you'll read a book together. Or
yeah, we read a lot of books together, and we like read out loud to each other and stuff. Damn, it's so cute.
That's so cute. So there are little things that it's like, it's not all shit, you know? So those are some of our bigger tips on that. My friend asked us, is it worth waiting around for a guy who isn't ready for a relationship right now, but like maybe he is in the future?
No.
No. Because
I'm getting a hard no on that one.
Yeah, it's a hard no for me as well, because my biggest theme before I found my current partner was nobody showed as much interest as I did. And it's just like, you will find that person who's like, I'm just as into you as you are into me.
That's the thing.
And if he cared, he would be like, yeah, let's get into it, you know? Or even just like have the time for you. Because I feel like a lot of modern relationships, or like the start of them, it's like, okay, when are we gonna start dating though? When are you gonna call me yours, you know? And it's like, you could just keep hanging out like me and Finn did, and just eventually fall in love. And that happened probably like 4 months into hanging or something like that. I don't know. We were just like, wait, I love you, man. And it's like, you don't need to necessarily have that defining, like, we're gonna be in a relationship. And he's like, I don't want to be in a relationship, you know? It's just like, that word kind of scares me. I feel like a lot of people have like an aversion to relationships in the modern day. Like, it holds a lot of weight for some reason. So it's like, why not avoid it at all costs and just kind of like follow your dreams until you're like, hey, maybe in X amount of years, maybe you get married, you know, whatever. This really took a turn, a tangent.
No, I really agree. I especially agree with you, like saying for a long time, it feels like you're the only one who likes the other person and they never like you back. I have felt that so many times. So many of the crushes that I had, especially in like high school.
Gotta love some good unrequited love.
All of it was unrequited love. That's the stupidity of it.
Yeah.
It was always like, why doesn't no one like why doesn't anyone, sorry, Jesus, syntax, my friends. I was like, why doesn't anybody like me back?
Yeah.
You know? And that's the thing, when you're waiting for someone to like you back, that's not healthy. And it's not fun. It's not like, it's never gonna be the way you want it to be.
Yeah, what a terrible manipulation stage, you know?
Eventually you will find someone, and it feels impossible, but eventually you'll find someone who's as enthusiastic about you as you are about them.
And it's a gift. So I would say, no, it's not worth it to wait. And if he feels like he missed out on an opportunity, he'll come knocking at your door a couple months down the line, but you will be moved on and be like, you missed your chance. Oh my God, how many times I've had you guys ask me this on Pizza Talk is insane.
Finally, we'll finally answer it.
We'll finally answer it. Stick the nail in the coffin. No, I get it every time. My friend asked us, how do you get the courage to leave a toxic person you love?
Oh.
So just like leaving that toxic individual who has toxic habits, but you're like, wait, at your core, you know, you're a cool person, I love you. I think that first off, if they cannot acknowledge or realize that they are being a toxic individual, and like, you need to bring it up to them. Like, I don't really enjoy when you do this. It makes me feel this way. You know, communicate. Tell them what they're doing, because otherwise they're not going to change. And they're going to do it to every other person, and then have people dropping like flies and be like, what am I doing wrong? You know, until somebody has the courage to tell them. So please do that. And then if they're like, what the fuck? You know, like, you're being fucked up. It's really rude. And then you're like,
they'll definitely say it in that accent.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you'll know to look out for it.
If they obviously like are not intending on changing, or they try to blame you for their own toxicity, then it is a proper time to leave. And I would say just start. My prime example of this was a boy I had a crush on. I didn't understand that, you know, I liked him, so I wanted him to be in my life, but he was so detrimental to me in so many ways. And so many of my friends were like, what are you doing? You know? And I was like, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. I will admit that. And so one day my mom was in town, and he wanted to like meet my mom, and I was like, I don't want to open that door, you know? So instead I'm going to close this door. And I just kind of avoided him for a little bit, and then I would like make excuses when he was like, why the fuck aren't you replying? I would be like, oh, sorry, just so busy, blah, 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 making excuses until it fully confronted me. Oh, fuck, don't do this. Please don't do this.
Okay.
I was reading some destructive text messages that he had sent me, you know, just like weird shit that I'm like, I don't like that about you. Not like gross, like about my body or anything like that, you know, just he was sending me odd messages that I was reading to a friend, venting. And I sent him a voice message of me reading them aloud on accident.
Oh, you did this by accident?
Just hit it, sent it. And it was basically just like, and I was like, and he was like, and he was like, who are you reading our messages
Ooh, that's
to?
I don't know. This is a terrible story. This is hard to take.
Basically, it hit me full frontal to where I really had to deal with the shit.
That's good.
And I said, listen, man, I don't want to see you anymore for just like the current time being. I feel like we need a break from each other for our relationship to end up thriving in any way, shape, or form again. And I just feel like, yeah, we need time apart, and I hope you understand that. And he was like, all right, Megan, word. And then he came around about 6 to 9 months later, somewhere between that window, and was like, I'm so sorry for everything I did to you.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, if you allow that space, maybe they'll come around. Maybe. If they learn their lesson, have other people drop them like flies. You know, there's a lot of things that could make them realize. So that's my advice / weird story, is to just basically like confront it and then allow that distance.
Yeah, I have a life motto of sorts,
Yes.
which is fix or delete. Everything if there's ever a problem in my life, it's fix or delete. And that's for relationships, that's for food choices, that's how, it doesn't matter what the situation is. You either need to fix the problem or you need to delete the problem.
And don't just say and complain.
No, and I mean,
I hate that shit.
It sounds brutal, right? Like to look at friendships that way, but I don't think it is brutal. I think it's necessary. I think like I've had loads of people in my life that honestly, they weren't bad people. They were fine people or good people. They just, when our relationship was like, our friendship was not good. Like for me. And maybe, I don't know what the hell it was for them, but for me, it was not good.
Yeah.
And I needed to either fix it or delete it. And so fixing it would have meant like reconciling, explaining and having a big conversation and trying to work through it. But I honestly believe that many relationships you just need to delete. You need to accept that, you know what, this person brings me so much stress or anxiety that having them in my life isn't worth it. So you need to delete. And again, on that fork, you have two options. Option number one is to have a breakup. Right? And like, I feel like breakups are really associated with romantic relationships, but they don't need to be. Like, you can have a friend breakup.
Yeah, me and him, we weren't romantic. I was just like,
no, exactly. Nope. You can just have a friend breakup and you can explain it to them. Secondly, though, and this is maybe controversial, but like, I don't think there's anything wrong with just ignoring a person for a while. Like, if you are terrified of messaging them and like the kind of reaction that you're gonna get from them, or you're just like kind of nervous about what will happen, I think sometimes it's okay to just be like, you know what, I'm just not gonna hang out with this person anymore. I'm not gonna text them anymore because it's not helpful.
Yeah. And if they come literally showing up at your door, then it will confront you when the time is right. But I feel like a lot of people would just like get the memo like that, you know? They'll be like, ugh, well, she's not answering my calls, so obviously something's up. Last question. My friend asked us about finding friends in your 20s once you're out of school and you're not into partying. I feel like that's us.
Let me know. You know? Let me know.
I'd say my biggest thing is
so lonely. No, I don't feel lonely. I feel fine.
Yeah, like I still have people in my life, you know, but I am still in the same boat as you, like currently trying to also find that. But things that help are going out to even just like a social-ish setting. I've made a lot of friends at this open mic that we started going to twice a month. So it's like finding little events maybe like that, just like a little open mic to attend. Even if you don't perform, you could just sit there and always be an onlooker and they're like, hey man, you're my biggest fan, always coming here, and you're like, yeah, let's hang out sometime.
Or there are other people that go to every time, and so you're like, we'll start to notice the growing community.
Exactly. Something like that, or maybe like joining a club, you know. I feel like that's a normal response to give, where people are like, ugh, well, what clubs am I gonna join, you know? But if you wanted to, yeah, just go to some kind of like group-ish event where you could like go to kickboxing class or like Zumba and like make a Zumba friend. I don't fucking know. I don't know what you want to do, but it's like you need to just look in whatever circle you're in.
I like that you thought that everyone would want to do Zumba.
Or like a magic playing game. Like Finley wanted to go and start like a magic club, hanging out with people playing magic. I was like, rock on, you can make some magic friends who are also nerds like you. It's amazing. Or like a book club, something like that. You know, anything that will wet your willy and just really like have you delving into a hobby at the same time. Because people with like-minded interests are gonna be in the same places that you're flocking to. So it's like, why not?
That's true. I realized who the last friend I made was, and her name's Dana.
Oh, Dana.
Fantastic. But it made me realize, I think I make a lot of my friends through art. So what I mean by that is through creating stuff, and sharing other people's stuff. So it could be as simple as being a part of the YouTube community or the Instagram community. Yeah. For example, I started a new Instagram where I share some of my photography, and it's created a little community of photographers, and we're all commenting, like they're all commenting on my photos, and I see similar names over and over again. I could easily just like start to talk to them more and maybe grow a friendship there. Yeah. Or it could be like you make a painting, I don't know, other arts aren't coming to my mind, or music, right? Like, and in the act of sharing that, whether that's at a gallery or that's at a show or an open mic or like anywhere where art is happening, people go and you'll meet people that like that art with you.
Yeah.
And then also sharing people's art is huge.
I was gonna just say that when you started talking about art, because I've made so many friends by just solely sharing their art online, and they're so appreciative.
That's exactly what happened with Dana. I was like, she makes these awesome videos. Her channel is Wild We Roam, and she like does van life videos.
Nice.
And so I love her content, and her husband Lou. And I was like, these guys are awesome. On my Instagram story, I was like, they're so cool. Everyone go check them out. I love this thing that they're doing. And then they replied back to me being like, Ariel, thank you so much for shouting us out.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you. And I was like, boom, we just kept talking, friends.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my advice.
Yeah, I've made a lot of musician friends, a lot of girls who make handmade goods and will like send me a thing, and then I'm like, fuck it, I love this thing. I tweet it or I put it on my Instagram story. Made a lot of friends via their art, you know, and me being like, damn, I like that. And then they're like, thank you so much for liking that.
Can I say
do you want to
one
be friends? Yeah, go for it.
One more thing to add on is, again, with my slightly defeatist attitude, it's also okay and good to learn how to be with just yourself.
Yeah.
Like, there's gonna be a lot of periods in your life when the only friend you have is yourself. And so it's okay to just spend time like having a good time with yourself, whether that's reading or watching a movie. I like going to the cinema on my own sometimes, or like doing things like that when I'm lonely. I'm like, well, that's okay. I have me. Like, I like me, so I'm gonna hang out with myself.
Yeah. I think that's like a wonderful point to also just end on, because I think we kind of milked that question. And also we really milked this. I think that it's been great.
I ate all the pizza.
I ate all of the pizza in front of me, so obviously it is finished. All done. No more. No, I'm just kidding. You guys sent a lot of questions and I appreciate that. And hopefully if I make another friend, then I can have them on Pizza Talk sometime. Until the next vid, I just wanted to say, yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for having me, Megan.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks everyone for hanging out.
Yeah, go and check out Ariel's channel because she is so awesome. And like I said, she's making a little mini documentary of Finn and I's move from city to country life. She's been just like here, hanging out, being in vlogs, taking a bunch of pics of us and just being awesome. Okay, I need to wrap this up. Smash that freaking like button. Subscribe to me if you're not already. Ring the notifications bell if you want to be notified when I upload. And until then, next upload, boy, stay smiling. Bye.
Did you hear what happens like, can you tell me? Please, I'm really trying to know. Cause I do what I do when it's all said and done, shit. I'm just trying to go.